After performing original songs at an RCA Records showcase, Swift, then 13 years old, was given an artist development deal and began making frequent trips to Nashville with her mother. To help Swift break into the country music scene, her father transferred to Merrill Lynch's Nashville office when she was 14 years old, and the family relocated to Hendersonville, Tennessee. Swift initially attended Hendersonville High School before transferring to Aaron Academy after 2 years, which better accommodated her touring schedule through homeschooling. She graduated 1 year early. In Nashville, Swift worked with experienced Music Row songwriters such as Troy Verges, Brett Beavers, Brett James, Mac McAnally, and the Warren Brothers, and formed a lasting working relationship with Liz Rose. They began meeting for 2-hour writing sessions every Tuesday afternoon after school. Rose called the sessions, quote, "some of the easiest I've ever done. Basically, I was just her editor. She'd write about what happened in school that day. She had such a clear vision of what she was trying to say, and she'd come in with the most incredible hooks." Swift became the youngest artist signed by the Sony ATV Tree Publishing House, but left the Sony-owned RCA Records at the age of 14 due to the label's lack of care and them cutting other people's stuff. She was also concerned that development deals can shelve artists and recalled, quote, "I genuinely felt that I was running out of time. I wanted to capture these years of my life on an album while they still represented what I was going through." At an industry showcase at Nashville's Bluebird Cafe in 2005, Swift caught the attention of Scott Borchetta, a DreamWorks Records executive who was preparing to form an independent record label, Big Machine Records. She had first met Borchetta in 2004. She was one of Big Machine's first signings, and her father purchased a 3% stake in the company for an estimated $120,000. She began working on her eponymous debut album with producer Nathan Chapman, with whom she felt she had the right chemistry.
This is definitely the highlight of my senior year.
Swift wrote 3 of the album's songs alone and co-wrote the remaining 8 with Rose, Robert Ellis Oral, Brian Maher, and Angelo Petraglia. Taylor Swift was released on October 24, 2006. Country Weekly critic Chris Neal deemed Swift better than previous aspiring teenage country singers because of her honesty, intelligence, and idealism. The album peaked at number 5 on the US Billboard 200, on which it spent 157 weeks, the longest stay on the chart by any release in the US in the 2000s decade. Swift became the first female country music artist to write or co-write every track on a US Platinum-certified debut album. Big Machine Records was still in its infancy during the June 2006 release of the lead single, Tim McGraw, which Swift and her mother helped promote by packaging and sending copies of the CD single to country radio stations. As there was not enough furniture at the label yet, they would sit on the floor to do so. She spent much of 2006 promoting Taylor Swift with a radio tour, television appearances. She opened for Rascal Flatts on select dates during their 2006 tour as a replacement for Eric Church. Borchetta said that although record industry peers initially disapproved of his signing a 15-year-old singer-songwriter, Swift tapped into a previously unknown market, teenage girls who listened to country music. Following Tim McGraw, 4 more singles were released throughout 2007 and 2008. Teardrops on My Guitar, Our Song, Picture to Burn, and Should Have Said No. All appeared on Billboard's Hot Country Songs, with Our Song and Should Have Said No reaching number 1. With Our Song, Swift became the youngest person to single-handedly write and sing a number 1 song on the chart. Teardrops on My Guitar reached number 13 on the US Billboard Hot 100. Swift also released an EP's, the Taylor Swift Holiday Collection, in October 2007.
If a guy shares his experience in writing, he's brave. If a woman shares her experience in writing, she's oversharing. And she's over emotional, or she might be crazy, or watch out, she'll write a song about you.
To be continued.